Let me know if the audio is okay this time, guys. I know I've been having some weird off the bat issues with that. Let me know really quick. All right, let me get this going. Gonna do things a little different this time. Audio's fine this time. Oh man, look at this. I'm almost getting the hang of this. It's crazy. How many years has it been? All right, I'm gonna turn on the lights, hopefully pay the electric bill, and we'll get going on this, guys. Hope everybody's well. Gonna do things a little different this time. See how it goes. You know how we do things. You know how we do things. You know how we do things. Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome. Yo, what's going on, Ab, Grant, Ronald? How's everything? Rich? Why? I swear, it's like hitting the go live button is the same thing as telling everybody to text me at once. It's amazing. Anyway, what's going on, everyone? Boom and boom. My name's Seth Miranda, over here somewhere. This is the Adorama event space at 42 West 18th Street. You guys are always welcome here. You know that. This week, Daniel Norton is doing a live demo. Wednesday, me and him are doing the photo critique. So if you're in New York, it's in person only. You can check out adorama.com/events, which I'm pretty sure this is what this sends you to, so that you can submit some work. And even if you're not submitting work and you're in New York, Wednesday, 5 p.m., come hang out. All right. Nah, Gary, it's all good. You're not the only one texting me right now, so it's funny. All right, so if you notice, we should be in better audio sync this time, and the reason that is, I changed the cameras from Z6.2s to Z6.3s, and I didn't realize there'd be that much of a discrepancy, but there is. It's almost twice as fast for the audio sync, so there you go. A table missing a pizza. Yeah, you know, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm getting ready for trade show season, and trade show season means I gotta get better cardio, better breath, get in shape because I'm lugging a lot of gear, and every 2 weeks I'm out and I'm doing something. I'm on stage, I'm talking for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm running a floor all over the place. Like it's hectic. So I actually cut out pizza from now until I'm back usually. Like if you follow my stories, usually what I do is I come home and I show you guys that I just ordered a pizza while I'm coming back from the plane and like just house that thing, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, Brad? How are you? The whole thing about trade shows that people don't realize is how much prep goes into them. And this stream, we've been shooting every stream. This is the 5th episode. I figured I would go over the case that I'm actually going to be bringing with me to Imaging USA next week. So next week is what I consider to be WrestleMania of this industry. Imaging USA is happening in Dallas, Grapevine, and it's put on by Professional Photographers of America, right? And that is a massive organization, and it is, I think, the oldest organization in this industry, I think. I could be wrong. I know Gary is a part of that. And when I do these shows, I don't know what's going to happen. I get a class. I know what I need for that class. But then while you're there, people try to grab you to do whatever they can, right? How was the wrestling last week? Which wrestling? Oh, the Netflix thing. I got mixed feelings about the whole WWE Netflix thing, but that's a whole nother thing. Do you have different talks at different shows, or do you have similar ones? Okay, so what? I feel like I'm all out of whack now because of, well, I'll use my Leica dot mouse pad. Huh? How swank is that? Do you have different talks at different shows, or do you have similar ones? So I hate doing topics and sticking to topics. If you haven't noticed, I go off topic all the time, right? That's how we do this, right? I try to pick topics that'll give me a lot of flexibility on the fly, as opposed to some kind of topic that's like, we're definitively doing this in this method and here's how we do it, like that. Because there's no photography situation on earth that it's always A, B, C, D, E. You're gonna start off at A, something weird happens, you have a different thing you wanna go for, the people around you want something different, you go from A to C and then back to A again, then somehow you end up on F. So I try to really keep my classes like that. I don't know if anyone in this chat has been to any of my classes at Imaging USA, WPI, Shutterfest, or even here at the event space at 42 West 18th Street, which you guys know, you're always welcome. If you're coming to New York in 2025, check the Adorama event schedule and try to swing by, say what's up. But the reality is the talk I'm doing at Imaging is going to be cinematic, narrative, atmosphere, whatever clickbaity SEO words I put in it that basically mean we're shooting something cool, and it may not be pretty, but it'll be substantial. It may not be what you think you might want to shoot, but there's little tools and things you can pick up from it. Creating a scene, creating a vibe, a narration with the lighting that we create and the choices that we make. And I walk through every step of it. It's a character lighting demo essentially, but creating more of an atmosphere, right? So I would say it's an interesting one because I don't think I see anyone approach the way I approach it. At least whenever I see someone write cinematic in their course title, it just means like grandeur. Usually like cinematic wedding portraits, and they just mean to make it like look bigger than it is or something like that. And I approach it differently as far as making it actually a narrative. Not throwing shade at anybody, but that's just how I do things. Yeah, I'm kind of like Alice. I'm Alice, except in work gear, you know? PPA was founded in the 1800s by a bunch of guys with sick mustaches. That's okay. I think they're up to like 35,000 or 40,000 members at this point, which is pretty wild. And they're a good organization. PPA is a cool organization for you to check out if you're looking to get legal documents, insurance for your gear, resources and stuff. And they have this show every year at a different venue. I haven't been to the one in Dallas. I've been to Dallas, but I haven't been to this one. It's all right, Creative. Thanks for stopping through. We appreciate you coming here, man. So I'm in imaging mode, right? Like I'm thinking, first of all, I wasn't supposed to have a class. I thought I wasn't gonna have a class. Now I have a class, right? I'm gonna be hosting videos for imaging itself, like doing the recap videos like you've seen on the main Adorama channel for NAB or IBC. So I'm trying to like keep my head around that because that's gonna be all show long. And then I actually have my class on the last day, which, you know, we'll see how that goes. It's gonna have a bunch of people that are tired and have been there for a few days and just got off a show floor. But I try to keep people energized when I do my stuff. What's this shirt about? This shirt, I try to support our game, right? So this guy Mike has this company Shoot Film Co, and he always has shirts that aren't cheesy to me. Like there's so many corny shirts in the photo industry, like that "What the F" shirt, and it's like F stops. I'm over it. It's not funny anymore. You've worn it 40 times. We got it, right? This guy does references to a lot of punk, a lot of hardcore, not hardcore, more punk, more old school video games. And I just go like, this guy's got it, right? And every now and then when he sees a shirt pops up from him, I'm like, I gotta have it. I just grab it, support the guy. And I even wanna talk to that guy about sponsoring my own channel so that I'm not doing like Raycon earbuds, but more like somebody from our own game. And you know, how could I not get this? You know, it's horror and it's speedlight strobe. Like, how could I not? And if you don't know, that is easily, I don't mean to blow up your spot, Mike, but this is easily a Vivitar 283 speedlight on this thing. So, you know, that's as OG as it gets, you know? So today I wanted to go over my kit that I recently put together because this is the first time in 9 years I changed my kit this dramatically, and it might not stay this way. This is a work in progress. I might even take some things out of it to save some weight, but I rethought the way I've been shooting lately compared to the way I've always been. I rethought the things I really pull out of the case instead of just always carrying it around, and maybe I'll need it. Sometimes you have that baby blanket with you, right? Like that one articulating arm or that one thing that you know it's always there. You may never even pull it out, but it's somehow you just feel better knowing it's in your kit. We'll go over that, but I'm gonna pull up the case in a bit after I get through some of your questions really quick. Do you have a mental workflow in doing demos? It's a lot of stuff to balance. Bet it's hard not to draw blanks while demoing. So it's rough. I actually have a video on my channel where I show you guys the preparation for a demo here at the event space. I actually wear a camera to show you what the perspective is like of having like 60 people's faces staring at you while you're shooting. The main thing I try to keep in mind is talking with an audience instead of at them. So I'm always checking in with them, and checking in with them helps me keep knowing where I'm at, where I'm going, what's going on, right? So it's as much a beat as much as it's like just keeping people awake. I would like to think I keep people awake. I don't know. Some people put me to sleep when they do classes, but they're amazing information. And then some people like me just make people scream, and I always want people to yell questions at me. I don't want hands raised. I just want, just go for it. You know, I'm from Brooklyn. We yell at each other to show love, you know? But the workflow I try to go is, where can I go next? So when I'm saying I'm doing this setup here, I'm already thinking of where I can take it from there. Almost half the time, someone's gonna ask you a question between those 2 points and derail you completely. And I think that's what separates someone who does a demo from a great demo. You know, showing it on the spot, being able to produce what you say is gonna happen. Because all of this is predictable, you know? And most of the time, you'll see me and Daniel do like bad shots to just show you what could happen if you go one way or another, or just jank lighting or whatever. Or we try to spin a bad setup into what would make it work. And I hope that's what you guys pick up, as opposed to a formal demo on something, you know what I mean? Do you ever get nervous teaching in front of a crowd or doing lives or just another day? And I don't mean to like talk like I have an ego or something like that, but I don't get nervous, man. Like, what's the worst that happens? Well, what are you gonna take from me? What is the absolute worst that's gonna happen that I'm not gonna have tomorrow? What could happen? You know, and I wouldn't start doing these demos if I wasn't confident in what I'm able to do. And the second someone tries to get me into a situation or a scene or a setup that I am not comfortable with, I let them know that. So that if something falls apart, I already gave them the caveat of like, look, I've never gone this route with it, but if you want to try it, let's try it. And I have to have enough confidence to think I have enough principles and experience under my belt that even though I never went down this way with what you guys are trying to get me to do, I'll understand something somewhere to get it to a place that works, you know? And I really want people to think a lot while they're in my demos. I don't want people to just have information thrown at them and hopefully they absorb it. It's never, man, my neck is killing me. I never want to leave it up to hoping they heard every single word I said, you know? There's people that go to the same demo 5-6 times before they totally click in. That shutter drag demo I used to do, I've seen the same faces all over the country at trade shows coming to that same class over and over again because it might take that long to sink in, you know? Without you doing it in your hand, it's hard to absorb it, but you can't put it in your hands until you've been given the toolbox to do it with, right? So, and that's what I hope people get from it. I've worn your Talent Over Trend shirt 40 times. You know what? I totally forgot about that shirt. I closed my merch store, but you know, maybe I'll bring it back. I don't know. Will you be doing any demos on the expo floor at Imaging? I'm glad you asked. Yes. Myself and a really good roster of speakers are going to be at the Adorama booth doing live demos. Booth number 417, I think. I hope I'm right. I could call somebody. Whatever. Booth 417. Check the schedule when you get in the show floor. Me, Daniel Norton, I believe Monica Sigmund. Man, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't want to speak without knowing for sure, but there's a really good roster. I should have known before I got on here live. See, already messed up. You believe that? Finally, the best content. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to kick a like on this and subscribe if you haven't. I'm trying to. Gary Hughes. I'm sorry. Gary Hughes will be at the booth. Gary Hughes is one of my favorite guys ever. And if you want to know how to do a clean headshot setup and walk you through it step by step and the way he goes about it as from a working pro, make sure you check out Gary Hughes at the Adorama booth. But man, I'm so sorry, Gary. I'm doing 1,000 things. I'm self-producing you. Hey, lay off me. All right. So that aside, I figured I'd go over my kit today. And this is one of 3 cases I take. I was initially going to go to Imaging with just a backpack, my laptop, camera, lens, and just to make sure I could shoot something if I got to shoot something, because I wasn't going to do a class. Now that I'm doing a class, I'm all in, right? So here we go, you know? Do you ever do any of your demos and workshops in Canada? I was supposed to do one in Vancouver. It fell apart. Hopefully it maybe it comes back around. I don't know, but I can't just go somewhere and hope people sign up for something and it costs me a ton of money to put together, right? So if there's some sort of brand I can piece together, or knowing that I can fill up a workshop or something, that's another story. But I have nothing in Canada right now. Hopefully something takes me there. Canada's cool, man. I dig it. All right. So the case I bring with me, this is my favorite case of all time. Let me move this. Fujifilm X100 Oh, do you not? Okay. And let me move this. Okay. So I use the Think Tank Security V3. I'm going to put this link in the chat for the case that I'm using. Where did I put it? Here. This is for you guys. This is the case that everybody asks me about all the time. This is the case that I take everywhere. This has been around the world with me. And this is a brand new one that I'm going to show you here. And the reason I did a brand new one is because my old one, I want to keep it exactly how I have it, so I can still swap into it if I need to, right? The old one that I have, and this is my small lighting kit, okay? So I have small kits, mid kits, and my large lighting kits. My large lighting kit probably never comes out of my own studio. My mid kit comes with me around local stuff, like I'm talking 250 watt second lights, B10Xs, right? This is a hybrid kit. I don't normally do this. I usually just fly A2s, A10s, speed lights, small strobe the whole way. But I started rethinking the way I actually shoot now. And I started rethinking the way the industry's going. And I started rethinking the way I modify everything, right? So I'm skipping a bunch of steps. And I'll be honest with you, I might come back from this trip specifically and go, you know what, I'm going right back to the kit I know, because I've been leaning on that kit for 9 years, so I know what could get me out of jail. This is, I'll explain it. I feel like I over-explained everything before I actually do it. You guys got to stop me on that, all right? This is the Security V3. This, for my experience, is the largest internal space while still being carry-on. They make a domestic and an international version. This is the domestic. I have never had a problem with it going on international flights. I've taken this to Tokyo, Europe. I mean, I've never had a problem with it. The international version is a little smaller and it doesn't fit what I need it to fit, unfortunately. I roll the dice with this thing all the time, right? So this is it. And this is a heavy, heavy boy, man. This is no joke. And every time someone looks at it, they think they can pick it up, and then they have that weird knee-jerk reaction, and it's super funny. You have your TSA lock here, you set your combination, and it also has another security feature in here. You can actually, it has a cable that's embedded in here, so you can wrap it around like a radiator and then lock it if you're putting it somewhere, which is kind of cool. Think Tank is one of those brands that have been around forever. I don't know anyone that hasn't eventually picked up a Think Tank anything and gone, man, this thing's, no, it's always made amazing. Everything I have from Think Tank has lasted forever. Sometimes I'm wondering, like, how do they even make any money? Because I haven't had to, I haven't had to buy like another one of these. Although I do have 3 of these cases because I don't want to have to keep on reconfiguring my case based on what I'm doing. The way I work is so erratic. I don't know what I'm getting into so many times. And sometimes it's just for teaching a class like I am at imaging that it's not a typical case. It's things that I'm gonna bring with me just to show things rather than I'm actually shooting something, you know? This thing is, it's an investment. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is an investment, but would you rather make sure that all the expensive gear is taken care of and isn't gonna get ripped? If they do gotta check it for some reason, that it'll survive? I mean, this is really one of those things that I consider just as important as grip. I always tell you grip is that thing that no matter what body, lens, whatever lighting you go into, your grip stays consistent. And I believe that the same for cases, okay? The other thing I like about this is it doesn't scream, hey, I have photo gear. A lot of times you'll see a case that's clearly got some foam inserts, and where I live, they're gonna be looking at you like, there's some expensive stuff in there. I like that this just looks like luggage. This is overpacked, and it's overpacked for a reason. I am stressing it out so that I know its limit of what I want to take for this kit, and I will take out whatever I feel is not super pertinent, okay? Yeah, Think Tank's amazing. I'm a huge fan of them. This is not an ad. This is not sponsored by Think Tank at all. I probably personally own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I own 7 Think Tank cases personally. And the guy who got me onto Think Tank was Joe McNally, just so you know, all right? All right, so you have this spandexy, really rugged, catch-all, pocket. And that's really cool for when I'm actually at the show. I can throw things in there really quick. Or if I would want to borrow a larger size softbox that doesn't fit in here, I can just slide it in there and I'm just rolling with it. It also has one on this side over here, which you can actually put a tripod or something into and then take this and strap something around it. So I'm pretty happy with that. Side note, I have never had to change the wheels on any of these, but you can do that. Again, probably 7 to 9 years on one of these, and I haven't had them worn down. So let me do my combination because I forgot to unlock it. All right. I have had to check this bag. Unfortunately, there's been flights. I remember we were taking flights in Europe, and it was like low budget flights that they weren't letting you carry on pretty much anything. And I had to check this, and I was like, but you'll see how I pack this to mitigate for that. I'm going to let you know that, and I bet you if Fernando's in the chat or whatever, he'll attest to it because we travel a lot together. I am always randomly selected at TSA. And I pre-check and everything. So yeah, you've got the big pocket here. You've got this smaller pocket in here. And in here, I keep packs of gels just to start off, but it's pretty much a real flat file. They made it so you can put a laptop in there up to 17 inches. I will never put a laptop in this case, ever. Laptop goes in my backpack along with the cameras and lenses. There are no cameras, no lenses in this bag. If I lose this case, my backpack should have enough for me to shoot something, right? I keep a speed light in there, my remote's in there, my Manfrotto halos, if you guys have seen those videos, and I keep my laptop and my tech bag in there, right? So if this bag somehow gets lost, if this bag gets ripped off, if something happens, I'm still gonna shoot something. I never ever check the cameras. That's always on my back. Laptop, always on my back. But let's say you're doing something local, you drive, yeah, it's got a 17-inch laptop sleeve and all that stuff. And you think I'm lying, but I do keep balloons on me, because you guys know at the Brooklyn Softbox, right? There's plastic bags and balloons. Look, not even joking, look, plastic bags. I get into a hard spot, I got something, plus I'm doing a class, right? You gotta do the party trick so that they get psyched on it, right? Let me clear that. So I take stuff I wouldn't always take with me, but you're doing a class, and part of a class is making it entertaining. Otherwise, who would want to sit through a class that isn't entertaining? You know what I mean? Do you have a PPA insurance for your gear? I do with the membership, I believe. Probably, maybe. All right. Favorite backpacks. So honestly, to show you this isn't sponsored, my favorite backpacks so far have really come from Wandered lately. I've been using the Provoke 31 for the last few years. I'm a big roll top guy. And when I was a bike messenger, roll top really was like the way I lived my life. And ever since then, I was all into it. So the Provoke 31, I also have their 41, which is big. I'm not traveling with the 41. It does not fit under a seat, but the 31 will. In fact, let me see if I can find that for you guys. Provoke 31. So it comes in a few sizes. I'm not a big fan of the 21 because I feel like I'm going to overload it anyway. Where is the 31? This thing. Oh, this is the 41. Let me see if I can find this better. Wandered. Provoke. Okay, so is the V2 just a version of the 31? me see what this says. This is the 31. Okay, so, and then you can pick whatever color you want. I go all black. I know Dan is using this, but this is kind of my, there you go. This is my go-to for backpacks. And just so you know that I'm like a huge backpack fiend, right? I have like a giant graveyard of them, but this is not my everyday. So we have what we call day bangers, and it's a term I came up with, but people around me seem to be adopting it. Day bangers are like that bag you grab and it's not all your photo gear. It's just that backpack for the day, has a laptop, maybe a camera, but everything else peripheral in it. In fact, this is my day banger. This is just a chrome, I think this is the Heritage bag. I've had these for a million years and they just don't fall apart and I love them. And again, roll top. I'm a huge roll top guy. I know they're not for everybody, but that's my day banger. I throw in like a tether cable, camera and lens, maybe a remote, maybe a speed light on a crazy day, but really that's just that. The Wandered Provoke 31 is I'm actually grabbing gear, right? And I like that it stays flat to my back, goes across my back, and can crunch down in size when I don't have a lot in it, or expands when I do have a lot of stuff. So it's like I don't have to worry about a turtle shell hanging off my back. I'm not a fan of turtle shell backpacks, and especially a guy who, if you guys have been following me for a long time, I got back issues from injuries. I broke that disc in my back in 2021. That was a nightmare. So I'm very conscious of weight coming off of my back rather than across it. I'm a big fan of that bag. It works the way I would think, the way I think out in the field, and I'm a fan of it. I would change a few things, but I would need to get a signature backpack in order to do that. Hopefully one day I can do that. That's always been a thing for me. I've always wanted to do a signature backpack. I don't know if that'll ever happen. All right, I feel like we've been going on forever and we haven't even opened this thing up. So let's open it and I'll go over the thought process here. This is, again, overstuffed, right? Off the bat, let me put this over here. Off the bat, you have these super, super durable clear pockets. And when I say durable, the one that I've had for like 7-9 years or whatever, no rips, no discoloration, and it's been beat to death. I've had tools in here, sharp things in here, you know, jagged things, and it's been awesome. So I'm a huge fan. I always keep a wrench and an Allen key to tighten the stands that I put in here. If you follow my channel, you know I'm going to show you the Matthews reverse stand. This is not the right size. This is an 8mm, but I think this is a little bigger than the size you need, but it works. And this is what I had on me, so I threw it in here. And I keep pieces of cinefoil so that I can control the light on the fly if I need to. And cinefoil, look, it adds up after a while. So instead of having to take a whole roll, I take pieces I've already used, I fold them up, I stick them, I stash them. If I need them, I know I got them on me somewhere, right? So some cinefoil and some odds and ends like wide angle adapters for small lights and stuff, maybe some small gel stuff, adapters, things like that, right? But on top, if you notice, hey, what's up, Ab, man? Day banger? Yeah, it's a day banger. You're getting through the day. It's you know, we're photographers or video or content creators or whatever we are, and you know we're gonna have some sort of gear in there, but it's not the focus of it is that gear, right? So if you notice on top, right, there's this is laid on top. I'm not gonna take space up inside the bag itself with things I can lay on top and still close the case. This allows me to carry things that are lightweight, might take up room, but they don't add weight to it and gives me more tools, right? So the way I always look at it is the more tools I have, the more abilities and things I'll be able to, the more situations and solutions I'll be able to get to, right? That said, I've had to change myself to say, just because you have room in a bag doesn't mean you have to fill it. Because after a while, especially if you're on the road for like a couple weeks or a month or whatever, you end up lugging around just weight. So I'm getting to a place where I'm trying to not do that. And just fair warning, some of the stuff I have in here isn't even made anymore. It's just stuff that I like. Again, not sponsored, but do you know what I like? What do you like about the Think Tank stuff, Brad? Daybanger was Gary Hughes' nickname in college. Oh, man. Okay, moving on. So the industry's been going through a lot of changes, right? Speed lights have been quieting down. Micro monolights have been coming up a little bit. And even dedicated lines of modifiers for smaller lights and stuff like that. So things have been changing. Up first, I have a 1x3 strip OCF. This is a lot easier to pack than an RFI. It has a grid in there. A 1x3 strip is one of these modifiers that you would be surprised how much you can get done with a 1x3 strip. And if you are used to exploiting your gear, you could make this work in a lot of situations. So a 1x3 strip is always like, no, I got to make sure I have it on me. So I always have one on me. Fits inside this case, right? The rods are what's going to inhibit you from fitting gear, a softbox in your case. I'm going to talk about that in a couple seconds, but this is a 3-foot octa OCF and a grid. So this is like your throw it out there and make it work kind of light. It's not a 4-foot octa, it's not a 5-foot octa, but it's also not a 1-foot octa. So it's going to give you some decent spread of light. It's going to be pretty soft if you get in close. Throw on the grid, get that contrast. It's, probably a decent size light that still keeps it controlled instead of an umbrella that'll explode everywhere, right? So a 3-foot octa, you can block part of it and make it into another strip if you had to. Half grid it, get some spread, keep it tight on the other side. You've got a lot of options with this. So the OCF line from Pro Photo just made things like super, compactable. Then the two I always make sure I have on me. This is a different version of my favorite softbox. Let me explain. This is the 1.3 by 1.3. So it's square boxes and I have 2 of them. And normally I'll do like a setup like this and I'll be all right. Or a setup with this and maybe another fill. Like I always know I got small boxes. I can use distance of light to change so much. And the 3-foot box lets me get like a harder sculpting shape while still being pretty diffused and not specular. Pulling it farther away will get me a little harder of a look. Getting it in close just at a frame will let me fudge in a little bit more of a softer look. They're very flagged type boxes, so not spilling everywhere. So again, control, 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 control. Now my favorite box is the 1 by 1.3. So it's smaller and rectangular, and that's an RFI box. So I don't take that on the road with me in a small kit because the speed ring is physically bigger, right? OCF line from Pro Photo is meant for lightweight, smaller, compactable, not as much versatility, right? I can't take the diffuser out of this. I can't, what it is what it is. It's not going to be able to handle high output modeling lights, but I'm not going to be doing that with the smaller strobes anyway. So why take the weight? The RFI boxes are also able to handle more heat, which is why they handle the higher watt modeling lights and all that kind of stuff. But you're paying the tax with the size and weight of the speed ring that's going to take up space in your bag. So that's right there, 4 modifiers, right? Now with every light, and I want you guys to remember this one, right? Every time you're packing a kit, every light that you pack needs 3 things. What do you guys think the 3 things every light needs when you pack a case? Before I get into this, I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. Yeah, the articulating arms are in here. They are, but I am thinking of actually taking one of the arms out just to save weight, give it a little more breathability here. But when you pack lights, every light needs 3 things. What do you think those 3 things are? I feel like I'm on a huge delay right now or something. You need power. Yep, power is one of them. Grip modifier batteries. Exactly. My man. Power, even if it's a battery, you need an extra battery. Grip, even if it's a human being holding it, that light is going to need grip. If you're by yourself, good luck. And modifier, you can use it raw. You can use a light without a modifier on it, but you're going to get what you're going to get. You can bounce it off a wall, things like that. But if you're looking to do actual lighting and really create the light you want, you're going to need power, grip, modifiers. I don't care if that modifier is just a dome on your speed light. It's still a modifier, right? Now, let me see if I can do this without spilling this case over. But this is how tightly packed I have this case, man. This is crazy. So I have 4 lights in here. Under these chargers are Profoto A2s, right? So little soda can joints, right? And under these covers are Profoto B10s, B10Xs rather. So I make sure I have a battery in and a battery and a charger, and I pack both. If you're flying and you have lithium batteries, what you're gonna wanna do is put gaff tape over the contacts. No matter what size the battery is, no matter how you pack it, they're gonna wanna see, if you get TSA to come down on you like they like to do to guys like us, people like us, I should say, it's just smart to put a piece of gaff tape over the contacts and just not have the drama if you get stuck with it, right? Now, if you notice, I pack the lights in the center of the bag, right? Center of the bag, so that if it gets hit on either side, doesn't really make a difference. The smaller lights, while they are on the side, they're against the middle, and I put the power for the charger on the outside, so it's kind of like a buffer, right? So this goes in here, and the light is still towards the middle, right? So it can get hit a little bit. And I know you're probably thinking about, well, what about this B10X on the bottom? That's one of the things that's great about this case, is it's very hard for it to get hit in that position because there's so many bumpers and things over here. In the almost decade I've had these cases, I've never had a problem. So I put them in the middle, and then everything else is just grip and mods, right? And I just keep thinking, like, what am I gonna use, what am I gonna use? The reason I changed this kit up, I used to have 5 lights in this case, or the original case is set up for 5 A2s or A10s. And that was the way I went about it forever, right? There's just small strobes, we're doing it. I sacrificed having an extra light to have 2 lights with more power because the Profoto OCF ring doesn't fit on an A2, right? They have a click line that is specifically for this light to magnetize. And this is the same for other brands as well, right? But I only want to carry 4 of these OCF modifiers, and I want to make them work between everything. Well, you need the adapter. The thing about the adapter is, after you have the adapter, and they take the same stand adapter, right? After you have the adapter and you put in there, this becomes almost the same weight. Not quite, it's a little lighter, believe it or not. This becomes the same weight as a B10X. It's a little lighter. I'm not, this is a this slightly edges out on weight. So I said to myself, what am I carrying around just metal for when I could carry around the same weight, take out some adapters, put this in there, and gain a stop and a half of light. And that's when I started changing my kit up a little bit. So when I used to favor having more lights, like actual physical lights, that's when 5 lights meant a lot to have in the case, because remember, I still have the speed light in my backpack. Now the speed light in my backpack is a redundant trigger for my strobes, because I have a remote, then I have my speed light. So if I get into a hard spot, I can use my remote with my speed light off camera for a light, but it's also a redundant remote. If I put it on camera, it becomes a remote. It also becomes an on-camera fill light, which you guys have seen me do. If you check out the Profoto A10 video on the main channel, right? There's like 80 of you guys in this chat and 30 likes. Is this not good? Are you guys not into this? So now, if I had a softbox built and I put this speed ring on here, this is the same speed ring that's going to go on these B10Xs. Works, right? Oh, I'm sorry. So I still have that speed light in my bag, right? So that is my 5th light now. I'm not going to put it on my camera all the time. I don't always need to have it on my camera all the time, but that can become my 5th light to mix in whatever I got set up with an A2. You know, we're talking about like a 1/3 of a stop difference in light there. And if you really want to split hairs, I can focus the A10 and get a little bit more light out of it, or throw a Fresnel lens on and get some more. So I carry 2 Fresnels on me, and these are just amazing. If you guys, I mean, this thing adds like a stop, if not more power, and it's just been, I really love this light. I love the Fresnel, man. It's sick. It's really a sick look. Granted, it's not like a giant Fresnel that we used on day 1 of this stream, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's magnetized, done, right? Got grids in there for these little guys. So if I need like really tight light, I've got it. I don't have to carry a grid kit for the B10Xs. Kind of a plus on that one. If I need a really tight light and I don't need all that power, I got it, right? Like I got the grids. Boom, I'm up. Boom, I'm good to go, right? I have to buy another umbrella, but yeah, I pack a speed light as emergency. Actually, everybody should. A speed light should be everybody's fallback. So I've got the 4 lights, I've got the 4 speed rings, but I have only 2 adapters now, which saves me all sorts of weight. And that's including on the articulating arms. So I have 3 articulating arms in here. I have 2 Matthews Nogas, right? And that is, where are you? That's this right here. If you guys are watching this on playback, I'll put it in a comment down below. It should be pinned. I'll put the list of these links. But this is like, you guys have seen me use this for everything almost. I just love leaning on these things for whatever I can. But I'm kind of questioning, do I need 3 of them? My third one is actually an Avenger D244N, which is what you see all over the event space. Every camera is on one of these. And it gives you infinite positions. It's awesome, and it's reliable, and it's from one of the most legacy brands ever. Fun fact, I learned this from Will Holoka, the legendary. Every Manfrotto part, apparently, the number is the number it is when it was like invented. Like the 244 is the 244th item that they designed. Isn't that so? Just so you know. So this is 3 arms, and then there's this, which I don't think you can get this anymore, but I'm pretty sure you could find something similar. This is a floor stand that has an extra tier. The reason I say you have to find is because every other floor stand that I've found out there only has 2 tiers. This is what every other floor stand looks like, and then this one gives you 3. So I've got, this is a floor stand, right? So if I'm doing something low to the ground, or a background, or a fill light underneath, I've got that extra tier. It's priceless to me. Also, what you can do is there are these right here, which are threaded. You can put a post on there and mount a light basically to the floor. So if you're doing something like a B10 that doesn't have a flexible head like a speed light, I can put it physically on a post on here and tilt it however I want. Sick. And it's really not that hard to carry this around because it breaks down so small that I love it. This one's made by Interfit, and they don't exist anymore from my understanding. It's sturdy enough. I'm not putting a giant light on it, a giant modifier on it. It's not going over somebody's head. It is sturdy enough, believe me. And then, of course, I have these. Oh, wait, actually, here. So then I got this post. I can just screw it into that, and boom, I've got myself a way to, right? I got a way to put a light basically on the floor. So it's like light. It's awesome. And it's just easy to keep on me. And this does have a bit of weight to it, though. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's good, right? You're going to need that kind of weight. This is the legendary Matthews, the Murph stand, mini extendable reverse folding stand. So it's this. And they're repairable. You don't got to worry if something breaks. You can get parts from Matthews to fix it. They've if you ask anyone that's been on set, like as a professional, they'll be like, oh, I love my Murph stands. And these are sick. I have an entire video about this stand on my channel that's been there for a couple of years now, and it's still doing really well for me. I'm glad I did that video. But this is, and that'll go over everything and every reason why I appreciate this stand. So this folds down small enough to go inside a carry-on. Now I'm gonna go to this trade show and they're gonna have C-stand stuff for me to use, and that's great. But there might be situations where I don't, and I just wanna always make sure I have a stand on me, right? So this can go flat to the floor like that if you want. Obviously, you can get a little more height if you want. Be smart about how you set. Do not set it like this. You kind of want to give it a little bit more of a relax. And again, these are nuts and bolts, man. These things can be tightened, which is why I have the box wrench and the Allen key. And this thing, that's 1 tier. That's 2 tiers. That's 3 tiers. And that's 4 tiers. I'm 6'1", so give or take. Then if I really get into a hard spot, and I don't advise this is just special case scenario, it has an extension. What I usually do is lower this 1 tier down, I lower the 2nd tier down a half, and I put this on top. Already, not doing too bad, right? And I don't raise these up all the way, but it does if you're doing something that's not precarious. I mean, I'm talking not hanging an arm off of this, but guys, like, right? So if you're just throwing something up high and you need it there, even if it's just clamping a reflector to it, foam core, a flag to cut light, whatever, it works, right? Or what you can do is you can put a super clamp on your stand and run it this way. And that's what I tend to do in these classes, because I set up like a cookie or some sort of cinefoil or, you know, some sort of plastic or whatever to shoot through. Nothing with a lot of weight. But it's cool that you have this. It is Matthews. It is awesome. Just be careful. Really use your head. Don't extend it all the way and be psychopaths, okay? No psychopaths. More cinefoil if I get into a hard spot. Lots of different A-clamps, right? On the fly, I'm able to use them. And just overall, I can just grab something from here and make something work, right? You're never gonna have everything you need that's exactly what you need, but you can have the tools that will give you enough versatility, because every square inch in your bag is valuable, right? That's some priceless real estate. Everything in my bag has to have more than one use case or it does not make the cut, you know? There is a super clamp in here in the bottom. And the other thing, I don't even know if they still make this anymore, but they were making these things called Frios, which have a 1/4-20 here, right? And this clamp that can go on virtually anything if it's wide enough, right? And then I can mount, I mean, I could probably mount this A2 to this little clamp and clamp it to something somewhere. Let me see. Let me know if this is helpful or you guys are bored to death, you know? But something like these little clamps came in pretty clutch. So if I wanted to, I could open this up all the way. And if I see something out there in the field and I wanted to just mount a light, I can do it. And then I can just move this ball head however I want and then freeze it in place. And I got myself a light on something. So if I can't get a stand somewhere or it's in a weird spot, or if there's something like an I-beam or something, I can do that. I'm not really sure if these are still being made actually, but I'm sure there's something out there on the market that does something similar. This has just been a weird little hacky kind of thing. I don't rely on it for everything, obviously, but it's good to have that kind of versatility out there in the field. Of course, having something like a super clamp and the articulating arm comes in clutch for the same reason, right? So if I take, do I have a super clamp? Do I have a super clamp? Yeah, I do. If I take a super clamp, right, and I take something like an articulating arm, Or I could even, ooh, you know what I could do? I could take the, what did I do with that post? So I could take that post that I had on the floor stand. I can put it inside this super clamp, right? And I can do the same thing, right? I can just, it just won't give me a ball head to position with. So I could put that onto something and then mount my light to this as if it was a stand. Or what you could do, if you really want to get wild, and I think Daniel Norton did a video on this, but you could take some stuff off of your articulating arms, right? Like this. Take off this cold shoe. And I always keep cold shoes on my arms because I don't know if I'm going to use, if I need something for a speed light. I have that, right? You know, take this. This is a 5/8 post, right? Well, there's a 5/8 receiver. Boom. Tighten it down. And now I have an articulating arm that can clamp to anything, right? So I can then bang, bang. Obviously I'd take this off and I would just start putting a light to it, and I have myself another grip point with an articulating arm somewhere. You're in a stairwell, these are awesome. You're trying to hang from the ceiling and point down, awesome. You're trying to put it on anything that's stable enough to hold and get it off the ground and point it wherever you want. It is just invaluable. And having the more choices and ability when you're out there in the field with limited stuff, you don't got all your toys on you, it's, forget about it, you know what I'm saying? Is there gaff tape in there? Yeah, so there's always micro rolls of gaff tape, and I keep micro on me because you can always double up and make it bigger, but I don't want to take up space in my kit. So I can always make this wider, you know, use however much, but I always randomly throw stuff into these cases. That's the one thing that's screwing up my head about this the most, is that my other case was so lived in. I had so many weird knick-knacky, you know, threaded screws, double threaded this, adapter for that, weird thing here, weird thing there. And I may never even touch it till I need it that one time. But I knew, you know, on the road, my old case, if I went to that think tank, I knew there was something in there that would get me out of a hard spot. Here, I'm starting over again. So I don't have all these weird little knick-knacky things that I've just kept in here over time. You know, I try to remember. I'm like, I'm gonna throw bongo ties in there, you know, zip ties, whatever I can think of. I just try to always chuck in there. Luckily, this is a good test flight for this this arrangement of a kit, because I'm just teaching a class, man. Like, I don't have to, I'm not resting my life on this one. I'm just need enough toys to get across what I'm getting across. However, I will tell you this. No matter what case I have, I always keep a baby pin on me. And I keep a baby pin on me because you might be somewhere that has C-stands, but they might not have a pin. I always have a pin on me. You'd be surprised what you can do with this. And you know, it's just good to have, man. It's just good to have. And don't forget, like, you can also put it into your super clamp and then run it to a knuckle, and then you have a clamp and a knuckle. Dope, right? Like, you're able to just, and now whatever you clamp here has full articulation also. So it's just awesome, you know? Super clamps are just one of those things that it's a chunk of weight in your bag, but when you need it, when you gotta get, ooh, girl, it knows what's up. For somewhat newbie, these sessions, the next best thing to interning with a pro. You know, it's tough to gauge what the conversations are out there. You know, for guys like, you know, me, Daniel, Ab, Cliff, whatever, we're always talking about this stuff. We're always around it. It's always in our hands, right? But I think it's hard to dictate, or it's hard to get a sense of what everybody else is dealing with, because now we're dealing with a lot of home photographers, hobbyists, pro hobbyists, people that just are in this field now that might not have gone through the traditional routes, you know, and the only way to pick this stuff up is being around it, using it, seeing other people use it. So that's why I always tell you guys, follow some accounts from pro grip brands and get a sense, like Matthews, Manfrotto, Avenger, Kupo. follow these brands and watch what they're putting out as setups and how to properly do things. The information's out there. They all have channels and Instagrams and stuff like that. I was wondering if that went higher. I would not put my B10X Plus. I wouldn't put this. None of this stuff is meant to go, you know what? Let me max it out. I get comments all the time of guys going, oh, I want to put this 600 watt light on this travel stand. Oh, that's cute. Do you want to take a motorcycle and you know, tow a cement truck with that? No. Like, look at what you're using, what you use it for. Optimize the tools for what they're for. Don't try to extend overextend what's in your kit, because you're going to find the limit at the worst time, and it's going to cost you more than you know. I think people just have this weird idea of, why can't I have everything all the time ever? And it's because you're always doing something with some sort of caveat. I'm traveling, the gear's smaller, the grip's smaller. If the grip's smaller, I'm not going to put bigger gear on it. Be safe. Don't be mooks. Don't be stupid. Use your head. What happened to that? What happened to using our head? What happened to that? You know, think about it. If you get nervous about something, don't do it. People ask to put 600 watt strobes on stands that are rated for a few pounds. You're kidding yourself. And even if the weight is under the spec, if you're putting like a giant modifier on it, you're sending it into a zone of being tipsy, off balance, wind hits it, someone's around it. You're giving it the worst case scenario. Something's gonna fail at some point somewhere, you know? Would you put an A2 on it? Yeah, I would absolutely put an A2. A2, my beat, look, A2, B10s are going on this stand. This is happening, guys. They're getting married. They're dating each other, and they're gonna make all sorts of weird situations. It's gonna be a sitcom, all right? But this, you also have to remember, I've been on the road with these stands for a decade. So I know the limits. I know where I'm like, this might not be the best situation. In fact, you'll find situations where I'm not gonna max out the stand, but I might put it more stable, but on a table, right? Like, if that's an option, take it. You know, it's just kind of nuts. People are expecting to have like travel C stands. Then what do you think a C stand's for? You know, I don't mean to be yelling at you guys, but the common sense and then the comments and questions and the bad news I get from you guys just blows my mind sometimes. Be smart, all right? Empty sandbags in there. No empty sandbags. I used to take a sandbag that was, I think Flashpoint still makes it, that you put water bottles into. The reality is that when I'm doing what I'm doing on the road, I'll probably put my backpack on the stand. That'll be my sandbag. Or if you've noticed in the Manfrotto video I did, I have a really, really hectic habit. I don't even think about it anymore, of stepping my foot on the leg. And I have to make sure it's a leg that's flat to the floor. Otherwise, you're gonna bend that leg and that stand starts becoming garbage pretty quick. The B2 and the power pack on the B2 is awesome for that reason. It's a nice counterweight for sure, absolutely. But there's plenty of times that I just think of like, all right, so this, you know, just put something with weight on it somewhere lower down. Just make sure it's stable. You know, I'm carrying this weight. Let me use that weight. I got it on me. Why not, right? Just, you got to get kind of crafty with it. If you're going to exploit and go farther than, let me put a small light on a small stand and just get a shot, you know? You can use whatever you want for sandbags, but I'm not carrying 15 pounds of sand with me. It's that simple. If you're just joining us, I'm talking about travel kits and what I take with me. I'm not going, okay, so you're telling me to take bags with me and then fill with sand. I'm going to a hotel. That sand is probably going to be a couple miles out of my range. You don't have to use sandbags for everything. You have to use counterweights for everything, right? You have to, if I have weight on me, if I'm gonna have a backpack on me, why don't I just hang the backpack or put it on the base of the stand? That's weight, and it's weight I already have on me. Use what you got and use it smart, right? I'm not saying don't use sandbags, but I'm saying I'm not flying with sand, and I'm not going to source sand when I get there. If I was doing a commercial shoot, we would probably have rentals deliver sandbags. This is not that situation. So That's why, actually, if you guys ever saw on my channel, one of the first short videos I have is me filling a Pro Photo sandbag with pennies. 10 bucks in pennies will give you some good weight, you know? And because they're flat, you can mold the sandbag to like be pretty good if you want to like just smash something on to stay stable. It's pretty dope. I'm actually pretty proud of that one because pennies are pretty awesome. Yeah, so there is a, actually, can I find it? There's a Flashpoint. Let me see, Flashpoint water bottle. They still make it. Let me see. I have like 4 of them at home, but you can just get empty sandbags and just put whatever you want in them. I mean, that's easy. I mean, here, look, there's 6 empty sandbags right there for 40 bucks. Throw whatever you want in there. In fact, if you guys ever see us use these sandbags here, it's like a roll the dice. I'll put these in there. It's like a roll the dice what happens inside these sandbags here. So, oh my gosh. I ran to Home Depot a couple of blocks up. Oh my gosh. Manfrotto, man. And I just got bags of gravel. And that way, they're always self-contained. Never leaks, baby. Never leaks. And some of these have like tools in them, you know, some stuff that like I had laying around that's just, you know, empty, you know, adapters for things that are out of, they're just obsolete now, things like that. Nice. So, you know, you just have a lot of options and you just got to be smart. I mean, this is a heavy case. If I don't have weight to somehow counterweight something else, I'm doing something wrong, right? Now, the catch to this, not the fastest thing to pack up. In fact, if Gary's in this chat, he probably can attest to how long it takes me to pack up after I do a class because I'm ripping things out of here constantly. And then I always think I'll deal with it after the fact. I'm live in front of a few hundred people. Let me figure this out, right? So that's kind of what I do with that. This is going to change every time I'm out there. I'm going to see something I need to put in here, throw something out that I don't need in here anymore. But I had to start somewhere. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little weird not having all the lights, but I am looking forward to having a little more power out there for sure. And again, it turns out that it's the same weight as an A2, you know? How often do you forget little pieces after class? I don't actually. So I'm pretty good with knowing all my things, right? So if I take a light off that I know how to clamp, I take the clamp with me. The way I gather gear at the end of a shoot is I don't like take off one thing at a time. I take the entire stand, I get it right next to my bag, and everything on that stand has to go into that case, right? So I make sure I pack in a system. You know, the lights, the power, the grip, all that stuff that goes in like a method. And I always make sure my backpack is the last thing I pack up because that's when you start seeing all the little weird things. And I'll just throw it in there. Are you curious how you go about transporting it? Well, that's the one thing. The Pro Photo grids for the A2 are not that metal honeycomb that can dent. This is, I don't know, some kind of composite. So that's one reason I really like these. I really like these grids. One, they work amazing, first of all. 2, they weigh nothing. They're small as hell. 3, you can stack them forever. And 4, they can take a beating. So I don't really go with traditional grids. The other grids that I would take are for the B10Xs, and those aren't mesh either. What you're probably talking about is a lot of low-cost grids, which are just like this, I don't know what you would call it. It's like a sheet metal that they've made into a grid. Yeah, that stuff gets pierced, stretches, folds, bends out of shape, ovalizes. I mean, it sucks, and they're expensive, and I know that. But the Pro Photo grids don't. They're actually some kind of composite or something like that. It's pretty awesome. Softbox grids go in the cases with the boxes. I mean, they're in. Hopefully, I have a grid in here. Yeah, the grids are right here, right? You guys got to learn how to fold grids. If you're going to take cloth grids with your soft boxes, learning how to fold them. What's up, Eric? How are you, man? How's the camera? Good? Yeah, you like it? Dope, bro. Dope. Yeah? Cool, man. Cool, man. So the cloth grids for the softbox should be the easiest thing for you to carry. Lower cost grids, you will get what you paid for. The threads will let go. Things will fall apart. They won't maintain shape. Sometimes they're not even deep enough to be really good grids. So again, in this industry, I feel like you get what you pay for a lot of times, and grids are one of those places. What sucks about it is grids are like the same price, if not more than the modifier you're getting them for usually. But they are invaluable for control, you know? Man, I just chucked the grids in my case loose. Yeah, and you break gear like no tomorrow. Like who are you kidding, man? That A1X I sold you. How long did that last, Marcus? Come on. I send gear to you to die almost. I hope I know this isn't like the most like sexy stuff to show you, or isn't like a shoot or something like that. But I think it's just super important that you get the most out of what you're investing into. And part of that is being able to get it to places, to use it and get the most out of it when you get there. I drive people crazy with my kit, and some people are super minimal, but I'm doing classes where I am flying through setups and making things up on the fly, and I like having a lot of tools with me. If I just showed up to a class with one light, one modifier, I'd be doing a one light class forever, you know? So, and that's cool. And I've done them, and there's plenty of people that do them. This is not that. This is also why I don't do posing classes, because posing classes are just people that are like, I don't have any gear on me. Here's what we're going to talk about, posing, you know? Not hating on you guys, but let's be real. You don't carry gear with you. Don't start with me. I'm the one blowing this out of my back for this. So it's like, I just don't want to be on a stage with 500 to 700 people staring at me and not being able to leave a lasting impression. And if it means an extra pound here or there in a case I'm already going to be taking with me, then so be it. But everything in my case, everything has to have more than one use case or it does not make the cut. And also working like this, you'd be surprised how quickly you can MacGyver when you do have proper stuff on you all the time, you know? That's why having like a C-stand and arms and stuff like that, it's almost like you were swinging 4 bats. Now you're stepping up and you're just ready to knock it out because you got everything you need right there, you know? It's just how I've always worked. You know, when I was on the road early in my career for the BMX days, I could get away with just taking a small light and just stashing it in a tree or duct taping it to something or leaving it on the bottom of a set of steps and lighting however the light hit, because it wasn't about the lighting. It was really about shooting someone doing awesome tricks, right? And the environment. The stuff I'm trying to shoot now is elevated stuff. I'm talking about lighting. I'm creating the light. I need the light to create the light, you know? So around the globe for 4 years with Seth, around Manhattan with me for 4 months. Yeah, you killed my light, buddy. Yep. She was a good light. I don't think I've seen a video by Seth that wasn't useful. Thanks. I really appreciate that. I felt like this is great for people working towards going pro, but no one to learn from. I appreciate that. I'd like to think that even if you're not going pro, even if you're not going this crazy, some of the stuff when you're packing your gear, instead of putting the light on the edge of your bag waiting to get smashed, put it towards the middle. Let it have some buffer, you know? Think about what modifier you're taking and what you can get out of it. I want to be able to do some versatile stuff from hard, small light, very controlled, to bigger light. And the 3-foot softbox is my biggest light that I have in here. Sometimes I would take an umbrella with me, but that umbrellas don't really pack down into a case like this. We used to have telescoping umbrellas years ago, and they needed a fatter rod because they were telescoping, which means they didn't fit in almost any light. And because of that, I kind of exited out of my kit because I would need a specific stand adapter just to make that one umbrella work. So I'm carrying 2 things for no. So if I do take an umbrella with me, that's going in another case that I'll check, or it's going on the side of my bag, something like that. Because just so you know, this isn't the only case, right? There's this, there's the backpack with the primary kit, cameras, lenses, speed light, remotes, reflectors, laptop, cables, that kind of stuff, right? This, all else fails, I got a camera, lens, and something that makes light, I can do something. I can get out of it, I can get going, right? Then there's the third bag, which is my actual life, you know, clothes and all that stuff that I need. Crazy, we actually, right? But if I lose that bag, it's not the end of the world, but it's everything else, right? So if I want to take bigger modifiers, I chuck them in that bag. Peripheral lights, like, you know, small light panels, constant lights, something for filming, something like video or something like that. Props, if there's something I'm doing something stupid. The pizza boxes, they go in there, right? Speaking of which, if you're going to imaging, debuting the Brooklyn Reflector, you're gonna have to see Teresa at the booth and say the secret word falafel, and you'll get yourself one. It comes with sheets of diffusion. You can build it as a pizza box, set it sideways, put the diffusion in front, put a speed light in there, and it becomes a strip light. Come on, you got to use the wax paper on the bottom of the pizza. Come on. But all that kind of crazy stuff, stickers I give out to people, whatever it is, goes in that third bag. I check that when I get to the airport. This goes overhead, the backpack goes under my seat, and we're going. Whatever happens, happens. The cool thing about being at a photo trade show is, if you're doing it long enough, you got a bunch of friends out there. If you got friends out there, if you need something weird on the fly or some gear, I can go do it. Like I could probably go up to Nikon and be like, yo, I'm doing a class, I need to borrow this lens. They'll let me borrow it, right? Or, I used to go to Cliff and drive him crazy. Like, I need that beauty dish, can I borrow your beauty dish? And yeah, but we all do that to each other. Daniel Norton is we're probably gonna feed off each other's kits left and right. Oh, you got one of these, you got one of those. And we share a studio together, so worst case scenario, he leaves it back at the studio when I need to get it back, right? Yeah, pro probably wasn't the right word. Just trying to move from the back of the room. Yeah, I totally get it, and I hope this helps, man. Like, the stuff I had to learn when I keep calling it growing up because I literally did grow up in this industry. I was very fortunate that I was in an era where this is how we did things. There was no YouTube. There was no type it in and someone teaches you something or even discusses what's next or what's possible, right? So if I can add that, this is my version of having an assistant with me at every shoot, which I don't have assistants at every shoot, so this is what we do. This is my version of it. This is the new era. Lenses always go on your back due to sensitivity of vibration or to the, no. I would be fine putting lenses in this case, but this is my lighting and grip case. I just like knowing that every bag I'm picking up, I know exactly what I can do with it. So let's say I get to this trade show, for example, or it doesn't need to be a trade show. I get a call that, hey, I just need to get some quick shots outside, blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna roll the case. I got the backpack, I got the lens, maybe a speed light, maybe throw a diffuser over the speed light, whatever. I got enough, I'm good. I partition the kits, right? So for me, it's also about who knows what's gonna happen. I can get on that flight and that flight attendant could be like, oh, we're all out of space, you gotta check that. And then somehow my case doesn't make it to me. That could happen, but my backpack's there and I got a speed light in there, I got the lenses in there, I got my Manfrotto halos, and the halos are invaluable, right? Where's my backpack? Where's my day banger? Did I not just have one? Oh, here it is. So I always carry two of these guys, right? And these are like my favorite thing ever, right? Right? This is a 3-foot diffuser reflector. I carry two of them. So now I got a diffuser that'll break up my light, make it larger, softer, and I got a reflector that'll fill it in at the same time. I can do it with one light, get out of there, stay alive, give them something they're happy with, and I run. Right? This thing, forget about it. In fact, do we even have these anymore? I know that's been hard to get them. Let me see. So it's temporarily on back order, but you guys can take a look at it. And the last video on my channel at the time of streaming this is all about this reflector. Go check it out. Where am I going to put Quinn? You know what's crazy is you get to these trade shows. It's very weird when they're like, so what model would you like? And then they give you like these human traits as a menu, and you're like, I don't, just give me a human. They're like, do you want, what age? What ethnicity? Like, I'm like, just give me human. Whoever somebody else didn't pick, I'll take them. I don't care what you know, because what I'm shooting, anybody can be in those situations, you know? Go get it, Heidi. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. That's crazy. I hope everybody's well in California. So, you know, as wild as niche and crazy as I get with this stuff, I do think that there's things to pick up. What's funny is the class I did in Louisville last year, I got a lot of great reviews about it, but something that kept coming up was like, this was amazing and entertaining, but I'm never going to use any of this. Then I failed at that class, because that class, you should have been able to pick out things here and there that you could then apply, right? I should have shown how you could apply them to more run-of-the-mill type shooting, like headshots or lookbooks or whatever, right? Because I was shooting a cinematic scene with a girl in a rainy car and all that kind of stuff. Well, it's not a rainy car, but it made it look like one. So hopefully I can adjust for this one this time. I don't know. Other than that, guys, oh, the other thing I did was I got extra long power cables for the chargers for the B10X batteries, because I can run the B10X off of power if I want to. So instead of me having a short cable and looking for an extension cord, this becomes my extension cord. And if you watch my channel, I made this magnetic. So I just taped magnets to my charger, so when I put it on the stand, it usually just stays there. And it has the Velcro to help out as well. But I find that the magnets are super helpful. I wish they were just kind of like standard. I came up with this because Chimera did something like this with an LED light they made. Me and Daniel were showing it, and he's swinging it, and all of a sudden it just stuck to something, and all of us just like our jaws dropped. Like, it's amazing how magnets are this mystical new technology to us now. It's kind of funny. But the reason that we're able to use magnets now is because the technology got so far in advance that it's not affected by magnets. How many times were you never to be able to put a magnet near a screen? Now, the power adapter for your MacBook next to your screen is a magnet. This is how amazing. This is the times we live in. You kids have no idea. No idea. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. If you're going to be at imaging, I'm running it back, the same demo. I'm going to change it up a little bit. But listen to me clearly. If you guys are going to be at imaging and you've already been to my class and you don't want to repeat, I totally understand that. No harm, no foul. Daniel Norton's class of sculpting light will be happening the same exact time as my class, ironically. So go hang out with Daniel, make him feel special. You know, he's talking like he's never going to be doing these talks again. I don't know. Get him while he's still doing them, guys. No, they don't make extra long cables. These are, I want to say these are C13 cables. C13 AC cables, which are the style, the connector over here, right? C13 cables, and I got them from, was it Granger? Some electronic place. They're generic. They're just AC cables. What day will your demo at imaging be on? Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. They put me in a weird place. I don't even know. They told me I'm by registration or something. I don't know. I was a bit of a last minute pull, but I'm going to do everything I can for you guys to make it worthwhile. I don't know I don't know what's going to happen. Oh man. So 3:30 p.m. Tuesday. This is after the show closes. Me and Daniel are taking the same spot, man. Hey Seth, I'm using a silver umbrella and a pole is sticking out, and I want to get my subject as close as possible, but it's in my shot. Let me try to wrap my head around what you're saying here. I'm using a silver umbrella and the pole is sticking out. So you have a light, umbrella's here. I'm the subject. You're saying that the rod, hey, did you try pushing the rod as far out as you can and just getting it out of the way? Or is that making the light spread differently on the umbrella than you want it to? And why are you getting it so close? What's your goal with getting it so close to your subject? And what size umbrella is it? Honestly, Marcus, I don't even know where I got them. I'd have to look. I bought so many of them though because I was like, this is awesome. Well, they don't even sell these at camera stores. This is from like an electronics supply house, like a parts, like electronics parts spot. I'm trying to remember where I got them from. I do remember going out of my way not to get them from Amazon. I'll say that, but I don't remember. 41 inch, so roughly a 4-foot umbrella. What is your goal with getting it super close to subject? You're trying to make it softer? Are you trying to make it fall off faster? Like, what are you gaining? And also, if the rod is this long, what do you think that much distance closer to your subject is gonna do, right? So, oh, are you writing in my chat, Eric? Do you need somebody? Are you good? Oh, okay.
That's what you're going live.
Oh no, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Eric from last time is here when I told you guys to give him. He's hanging out over here. He won a camera. This guy. Any tips for beginner lighting course? They want to last 8 hours, so there will be lots of shooting. Wait, are you asking? You're teaching the lighting course? Is that what you're asking me? You know what? It wasn't Best Buy. I'm telling you, I got it from some kind of electronic spot online. I'm trying to remember. Was it Newegg? I don't remember. They're asking how your camera is. You know what? Get over here. You might as well. Oh man. Hang on. You gotta get over there. Check 1, 2. There. How's your new camera?
Perfect. Thanks, Seth.
Right. What is it?
Oh, yep. R100. Yeah. With the 18 by 55.
This works by that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know, I'm behind the scenes. I'm not there. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's R100. It's the quote unquote consumer camera, but it's good though. I heard it's the high item, so I like it though. I love it. Slow handle. The viewfinder is good. And I love it because it's instead of uploading. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Instead of like uploading my images to my computer, I could just Wi-Fi it to my phone, and with thanks to Canon Connect, it's simple. So say if a client or somebody wants their photo ASAP, I could just beam them to my phone and send them up there. But I love this camera.
Step closer.
Thank you.
Yeah, step closer.
Sorry about that.
These kids, man, they got to learn how to be on camera. So what camera did you upgrade from? Because you won this at an event here.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Not sponsored. This dude just shows up all the time. We thank him so much for it.
And I thank y'all for having me.
Nah, so you went from what camera to this camera?
A Rebel T5.
Okay, so you basically went mirrorless. What, in your experience, in the place you are with your journey right now, how has going mirrorless changed the way you're shooting?
Good, like, because I had a mirrorless camera before, it was Canon, but it's just like the clicks is like you and like the EOS. I love the T5s. I love the whatever they call them, R1200Ds. What problem is though, it's like once you take like 5 pictures, it pauses busy. Once here, and it's just the view and the shots, and it seems like it's more in depth. It's just the mirrorless. I know it's a different tech. I guess it's weird to explain it, but it's like it's more in depth. I see the sharper, the images are much sharper.
Yeah, that you'll see, yeah.
And it's just quick, like I get like so many shots in.
Well, you'll also be able to see your exposure as you're shooting it.
Yes.
Have you been leaning on that?
Yeah, and also too, it does video and shots at the same time. So like, say I did it with a client friend of mine's. While I was taking pictures, it did posing and it shot the poses. So I don't have to do no editing or stuff like that. I could just upload it on Facebook with her just posing while she's doing the poses while I was recording the poses and taking the shots. So I love this camera. It's good. It's good for video, but I'd have a video camera and a regular camera for shooting separate. So, but hey, it's good, and for the price too. But
price, you got it for free, man. You kids, they think everything's for free. Nah, man, it's cool. You know, so we're doing the critique on Wednesday. Guess what? Another giveaway happening.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a Wacom tablet, but you already won a Wacom tablet on the other. If you win this one, I'm gonna lose my mind. So real quick, shout out, where can they find you?
Yeah, chat, East City on Instagram, East City NYC, ECITYNYC, Instagram.
Wait, ECITY
NYC, yeah.
Okay, cool. Go check out your man. This is what community is, kids. Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you're enjoying that. I'm glad I went to somebody who's psyched on it, man. Good for you. You're gonna go to the World Trade Center?
Yeah. I just stopped by and say,
dude, do you have any idea how cold it is out there? Like, the World Trade Center's probably got wind like you've...
I had to go like from 6 a.m. to like 10.
You shovel snow at the public library?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's a hero, guys. He's making sure the library, that people can get to the library here in New York. Like, that's a cool hoodie, by the way. You got the coolest swag, I gotta say. It's our favorite. Free is our favorite price to set. Nah, I don't think it's C7. I think it's C13. Like, wait, let me. I think I actually have it on a parts list. Hang on. C7? Now we're gonna get nerdy here, right? Let me just check, because I wrote it down in a parts list in my notes app, a long time ago. No, I can't find it. Nah, I can't find it. All right, sorry. I'll look when I get home. I can't, yeah, I can't find it. I thought it was C13. I mean, you guys know that the style of AC cables goes by like C and a number. Like C3 is like the flatter AC cable that goes into like the back of monitors and stuff like that. Yeah, so Eric works in New York Public Library, and he comes here after work, which is so cool. It's like so New York, right? Like, you work for the New York Public Library, you come hang out at Adorama because you want to come shoot. Comes to everything, absorbs as much as he can, and goes out there and tries to apply it. And that is the most awesome thing ever. So he just came by because he knows I'm live, and he's saying what's up. I'm glad I can give him some props while he's here, you know? Yeah, I'll look at what it is. I'll check out what it is when I get home, because I have to, actually, let me just check one more thing. Wow, I'm into this for an hour and a half already. I gotta get going here, guys. AC power cord, C13. Oh, you know what? It isn't a C13. You know what? I think you're right. I think it is a C7. Thanks, Kurt. It's a C. I think it's a C7. Wait, did I put in the video? No, I didn't put in the video. I'm a jerk. Yeah, so I think it is a C7. I think you're right. All right. This is running a little long, but I hope you guys get a sense of the thought process, how to get ready for where you're going, what you're going to go do. We can also get extension cords. Yeah, I just don't want to carry extension cords, right? Like, this as opposed to a shorter version of this plus an extension cord is just annoying. So this is direct, less points of failure, all sorts of stuff like that. So, all right. So I got a feeling this one probably won't get that many views, but I just wanted to go over this. So this is the Think Tank Security V3. We got 2 light stands, 3 articulating arms, a floor stand, 4 lights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different modifiers, clamps galore, tape, cinefoil, and it's just going to keep on morphing as I use it, like I did with the other one. If you guys, actually, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go live next week, because I'm leaving early in the morning for imaging, so I don't want to be lugging gear around when I got to get ready for a thing. Okay, so it's a C7. Okay, thanks, Kurt. Everyone say thank you, Kurt. So I will be at imaging booth 417 for Adorama. That is happening next week. I'm going to be assisting Joe McNally in his class, hanging out with Ab Cisse in his class, who's an amazing class on producing, like how to produce a full-on shoot. Incredible class. If you want to step up, that's your guy. Gary Hughes will be there. Daniel Norton will be there. Vanessa Joy, Taylor Jackson, Monica Sigmund. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So if you're gonna go to imaging, check the schedule, make sure you plan out what you guys want to do. Stop by Adorama, say what's up. I will see you at WPI in Vegas in a couple months. Shutterfest, this is my last Shutterfest. So if you're going to that and you want to come to my classes, this is probably the last time I'm throwing them out there. So, I don't know. You guys can follow me at this if you want to see some of my work, or you want to check out all the videos I was talking about. Check out my YouTube channel. They're sitting there for you. The video on the light stand, the articulating arms, all the grip, and the Manfrotto Halo. You can go check that out in the last 2 videos I put on there. Hopefully everything goes well. I'll be packing my main kit and, well, not really my main kit's always packed, but the third bag, I still got to pack that. So, oh man, hopefully this class goes well. I haven't done one in a very long time, like a big class. Actually, I think the last time I did one might have been at this level. I'm talking 600-700 seats. The kind of class I dropped my laptop in, if you guys saw that clip. So hopefully it goes well. I'm not gonna lie, it's on my mind, but I'm always like this. Once I get on stage and I got a camera in my hand, it just clicks. You just go into it. You just kind of go right into what you do and how you do it. I just try not to be boring, and I try to keep spitting out insightful things, and then I forget everything I said, and then somebody comes back to me with, you said this, and I always remembered. I'm like, cool, that sounds pretty smart, you know? In fact, ProPhoto quoted me last time, and I was like, whoa, I said that? That was pretty good. Yeah, I throw the anti-moisture things in here. They're probably, yeah, so anytime I get something new and it's got one of these like moisture munching bags, I just chuck them in my case because why not, you know? But this is a very abnormal thing for people to have to prepare for. If you want to know what it's like to shoot a live demo, there is a video on my channel, 2 videos actually. One is how I did a 7-hour demo years ago, and the other one is how I did a demo in this space and my thought process on that, and actually wore a camera while I was doing the demo so you can see what my perspective is like, and having all those people staring at you while you're shooting is it's an experience. But if you're confident, if you know what you're saying and you stand by what you're saying, there shouldn't be an issue, you know? There's definitely times that things can go haywire and not work out, and there can be anomalies that things just fail, but you should be at a place, if you're going to be speaking to a ton of people in a room, that you know a way to get out of it. Even if it's scrapping what it is and moving on and making a justified case for why you're moving on. You don't want to keep people bored, sitting there idle, wondering why you're still talking, all that kind of stuff. So, which is probably what's happening right now. All right, guys, any last questions? Final call. Oh, shoot. Is Eric still here? Eric, you left your lens cap, buddy. Oh, no. Eric, if you're watching this live, you left your lens cap here. I'll keep it on my console, all right? It'll be here all week. I'll probably see you for the critique on Wednesday, so it's all right. Last call for questions. But yeah, if you guys are looking to get into going to trade shows, I strongly recommend Imaging USA and WPI. And if you're looking to actually get into teaching, start at places local to you. Go to a camera shop, go to a camera club, and start teaching something. Free lens cap. Did he leave? Is he gone? He went down to the trade center, I guess, right? I feel bad now. All right. Don't forget, bada bing, go check out Adorama events. Did you say what camera and lenses you're bringing? Yeah, so I will be bringing the Nikon Z9 and probably my 85 1.2, the 24-120 f4, and I'll think about like some other lens, but I know what I'm going into for this class, and I'm probably going to lean on the 85 for it. It's kind of like the look I want. The Z9 can handle literally anything I throw at it, so I'm not worried about that at all. The imaging is going to be dope. Imaging, in my opinion, is always great. So And I have videos on the PPA channel, the Professional Photographers of America channel, which is the organization that runs imaging. And I'm curious what it's going to be like going on a trade show floor, having those videos out there for a few months now, direct to their audience. Like, will my videos have instilled confidence in them to come to my classes or engage with me at all? Or did I make some people pissed off and think I don't know what I'm talking about? It could happen. It could go either way, and that's kind of the way I live, you know. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely not the status quo there. I'll say that much. Gosh, I have to pack all this up now. Gary Hughes, get over here. Help me pack up. Let's do this. You dropped your lens cap over a clip. Yeah, that's gone. That's gone forever. Yeah, hopefully we can get to 10,000 subscribers. I can't believe how long it's taken to get the channel to 10,000 with the resources we have here. You have live demos from Joe McNally, Lindsay Adler, Ab Cisse, myself, some amazing resources from the brands. Like, I can't believe that we're not at 10,000 on this channel. It's astonishing to me, really. Oh, man. On the way, yeah. And go follow Gary Hughes' channel. He's got some really great videos on there as well. He did some really good videos on AI headshots versus real headshots. Really thought-provoking stuff from a guy who is like the hot headshot guy. Like, yeah, Peter Hurley, and I love Peter. Gary Hughes, solid headshot photographer, does some amazing work, and is a really, really incredible educator and a good human being. So go follow his channel because he deserves a bigger audience than he's got right now, for sure. And we had him on Coffee with Creators if you guys want to hang out with that as well. A lot of the people that are on Coffee with Creators will be at Imaging USA. Man, my voice is kind of killing me. I kind of want to waffle, but I kind of want to stick to getting in better. I've been doing the cardio, you know, I'm trying not to eat junk because I don't want to get on stage in a white shirt and have a gut out to here, sweating like crazy, breathing hard, you know. I wouldn't want to listen to a guy that's breathing hard either, you know? So I got to get myself together and get ready to go. And I also don't want to be a wreck when I get back, having pulled muscles and sore and bent out of shape. So the knee brace will probably be in full effect. I feel like I'm talking about nothing now. All right, guys, listen. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. If you're in New York, Wednesday, 5 p.m., come hang out right here, 42 West 18th Street. We're doing the Adorama critique with me and Daniel. It is not streamed, it's in person only. Daniel Norton will be live this Thursday, 5 p.m., and that will be streamed, as always. Headshots versus portraits. Really interesting topic, and I like when Dan does this one. It's pretty cool. And I think, no, that's not happening tomorrow. I think that, and then I'm off to imaging, guys. Oh, Chris Knight. I'm live with Chris Knight this week. What am I talking about? Coffee with Creators, 11 a.m. Eastern, Wednesday, on the main channel. Me and Chris Knight are going to nerd it out. Guy's an incredible photographer, a super wealth of knowledge, and he's a good conversation. You'll dig it. People underestimate how much physical activity is involved in shooting a demo. Yeah, people underestimate how much. Listen, if I don't have energy, they don't have energy. You're literally carrying a crowd of hundreds of people, and on a trade show floor, forget about the class. When you're on a trade show floor, you're yelling at 20, 30 people in a noisy environment. If anybody's ever been to a trade show and seen me do a floor demo, it is straight out of my punk book. Like, I'm talking the no stage, give me a mic, get out of my way, let's talk loud and go for it. It's what it is. Are you doing another streaming critique in the near future? If I do, it'll be on my channel. I just don't know. I'm having a real issue with bandwidth at this time between this place, my actual career, my studio, you know, and my own channel. Like, I am just all over the place right now, and I'm trying to get my head in gear to pop over to Dallas. So hopefully I'll see my class at Dallas, and hopefully I see you guys in Vegas for WPI, and hopefully I see you right here at 42 West 18th Street for in-person demos and classes that we do here. Come by, say what's up. And oh, new stickers. New stickers for you guys. If you come to Imaging USA, ask me for stickers. I got matte holographic stickers for you guys, right? Other than that, I hope everybody's well. Be good to each other. And I'll put the links to all this stuff in a comment down below. So I feel like, I don't know. I'm in a weird mood right now. Do I want a waffle? I feel like getting a big waffle or a really good sandwich. Waffle or really good sandwich. One of the twos. I don't know. I'm in New York. That's what's so great about this. Anyway, all right, I'm going to get out of here. Guys, be good to each other. Hit subscribe if you're new here. I do this every Monday. I'll let you know if I'm doing the stream. I'll let you know if I'm doing next week. But it's looking a little tight right now. Yeah. Hey, Daniel actually streamed a haircut here on Facebook. Not lying. Not lying. I wonder if it's still there. All right. Be good, guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of the week, and I will see you on the next one. Later, guys.